Hey Aries, I need to share something with you right now because the energy coming through these cards is absolutely intense and you need to hear this. I just sat down to do this reading for you and honestly, the moment I shuffled the deck, I could feel this heavy, complicated energy around you. Something big is unfolding in your life and someone out there has finally seen who you truly are. And now everything is shifting in ways you might not have fully anticipated yet. Let me just start by saying this reading is not about scaring you, okay? This is about awareness. This is about understanding what's happening in the energetic space around you so you can navigate it with wisdom and strength. Because here's the thing, Aries, when someone finally sees your true light, your true power, your true essence, it can trigger to very different responses. Some people will celebrate you and lift you up, but others will feel threatened. And that's exactly what we're dealing with here. So I pulled 10 cards for you today and I'm going to walk through each one with you because every single card has something crucial to tell you about this situation. This isn't just a surface level reading. We're going deep because you deserve to know exactly what's happening and how to protect yourself while still moving forward powerfully. Alright. So the first card that came out for you is the Seven of Swords. Now when I saw this card, I immediately felt this sneaky, deceptive energy around someone in your life. The Seven of Swords is all about strategy, but not the good kind. This is the card of theft, of someone taking something that doesn't belong to them, of hidden agendas and manipulation. And here's what I'm picking up for you specifically. Someone has been watching you, Aries. They've been observing your moves, your success, your growth, your relationships, your opportunities. And they've been doing it quietly, from the shadows. You might not have even noticed because they've been so careful about it. This person saw you revealed, meaning they finally understood who you really are. Maybe they underestimated you before. Maybe they thought you were just lucky or that your success was temporary. But recently, something happened that made them see your true capabilities, your true worth, your true power. And instead of being happy for you or inspired by you, they became envious. They became calculating. The Seven of Swords is showing me that this person is now strategizing. They're thinking about how they can take what you have, how they can diminish your light, how they can position themselves above you. What's particularly concerning about this card in your reading is the timing. This isn't something that's going to happen in the distant future. This is happening now. This person is already making their moves. They might be spreading subtle rumors about you, trying to take credit for your ideas, positioning themselves as the expert when you did the work, or creating situations where you look bad and they look good. The Seven of Swords is a warning card. Aries, it's telling you to pay attention to who's around you and what their true intentions might be. I want you to think about who in your life has suddenly become more interested in what you're doing. Who's asking more questions than usual? Who's suddenly being overly nice or helpful when they weren't before? Who's inserting themselves into your spaces, your projects, your circles? Because the Seven of Swords often represents someone who disguises their true intentions with a friendly face. They smile at you while plotting against you. They compliment you while envying everything you have. Now, I also want to talk about what this card means for your energy, because it's not just about them. The Seven of Swords can sometimes indicate that you need to be more strategic yourself. Not in a manipulative way, but in a smart way. You need to protect your ideas, your plans, your resources. Don't share everything with everyone. Don't assume that everyone who smiles at you has your best interests at heart. There's a time for openness and a time for discretion. And right now, Aries, you're in a time where discretion is going to serve you much better. This card is also telling you to trust your instincts. If something feels off about someone, it probably is. If someone's behavior doesn't match their words, pay attention to the behavior, not the words. The Seven of Swords is ruled by the moon, which governs intuition and the subconscious, so your gut feelings right now are probably picking up on things your conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. Don't dismiss those feelings. They're trying to protect you. The second card is the Chariot. And wow, this is such a powerful card to come through right after the Seven of Swords. The Chariot is about victory, about determination, about moving forward with complete control and confidence. This card is telling me that despite someone's attempts to derail you or take from you, you are still in the driver's seat of your life. You have the power. You have the momentum. You have the ability to steer yourself exactly where you want to go. What I love about the chariot appearing in your reading is that it's a card of triumph through willpower and focus. See, the person represented by the Seven of Swords might be plotting and scheming, but the chariot is saying that their schemes won't work against someone who is as determined and focused as you are. The chariot is pulled by two sphinxes, one black and one white, representing opposing forces. The charioteer has to use incredible skill and willpower to keep both sphinxes moving in the same direction. This is symbolic of you managing the different aspects of your life. The challenges and the blessings, the obstacles and the opportunities, and still moving forward victoriously. For you, Aries, the chariot is confirmation that you have what it takes to overcome this situation. You have the strength, the courage, the determination. But here's what's important. The chariot also requires control. It requires you to stay focused on your path and not get distracted by what others are doing. One of the biggest mistakes you could make right now would be to become so consumed with watching this person or defending yourself against their moves that you lose momentum on your own journey. The chariot is telling you to keep your eyes on your destination, to maintain your discipline, to stay focused on your goals, not on their games. This card is also about assertiveness. The chariot doesn't back down. It doesn't retreat. It moves forward with confidence and authority. So if this person tries to confront you, tries to undermine you publicly, tries to create drama, the chariot energy is telling you to stand your ground. Be assertive. Be clear about your boundaries. Don't let anyone push you around or make you question your worth. You know who you are. You know what you've accomplished. You know where you're going. And nobody gets to take that away from you. I'm also seeing that the chariot can represent a period of rapid movement and progress for you. Like, things might start happening quickly. Opportunities might come in fast. Decisions might need to be made swiftly. And this is actually perfect timing because when you're moving quickly and confidently, it's harder for others to interfere with your path. They can't hit a moving target as easily as they can hit a stationary one. So the chariot is encouraging you to stay active, stay moving, stay progressing. Don't let fear or caution slow you down so much that you become vulnerable. The third card that came through is the Five of Pentacles. And this is where the reading gets really interesting because this card is traditionally about hardship, about feeling left out in the cold, about financial or material struggles. But I want you to understand what this card is really showing us in the context of your situation. The Five of Pentacles often appears when someone is going through a difficult time and feeling like they don't have support or resources. But here's the twist in your reading. I don't think this card is about you experiencing lack. I think this card is about what this person wants for you. Let me explain. When someone becomes envious of you, when they see that you have something they want or that you're achieving something they haven't achieved, there's often a subconscious or even conscious wish that you would fail, that you would struggle, that you would be knocked down a few pegs. The Five of Pentacles in this position is showing me that this person actually wants to see you in hardship. They want to see you struggle. They want to see you lose what you have. And that's a really harsh thing to say, but the cards don't lie. This person's energy towards you is not benevolent. It's not supportive. There's a part of them that would feel satisfied if you experience setbacks. Now, the reason I'm telling you this so directly is because you need to understand the level of negativity you're dealing with. Here, this isn't just casual jealousy. This isn't just someone wishing they had what you have. This is someone who has crossed into actually wanting bad things for you. And when someone's energy is that toxic towards you, you need to be very careful about how much access you give them to your life, your energy, your space. But here's the other layer of the Five of Pentacles. This card shows to people walking in the snow past a stained glass window of a church. Inside the church, there's warmth and sanctuary and help available. But they're so focused on their suffering that they don't even see the help that's right there. So there's also a message here about perception and awareness. This person might be so consumed with their envy of you that they're not seeing their own opportunities. They're not working on their own growth. They're so focused on what you have that they're missing what they could be creating for themselves. And in a way, that's sad. That's really sad. Because while they're wasting their energy plotting against you and wishing for your downfall, they could be using that same energy to build their own success. The Five of Pentacles is ultimately about feeling like a victim, feeling like life isn't fair, feeling like you're on the outside looking in. And that's the energy this person is operating from. They see you as someone who has what they deserve, rather than seeing themselves as someone who needs to do the work to create their own abundance for you. Aries, the message of the Five of Pentacles is to not internalize this person's negative wishes for you. Don't let their energy of lack and limitation affect your energy of abundance and possibility. You know what you've worked for. You know what you've overcome. You know what you deserve. And you need to hold on to that knowing, even when someone else is projecting their own feelings of inadequacy onto you. The fourth card is the Star. And honestly, when this card came out, I felt this beautiful sense of hope and protection wash over the reading. The Star is one of the most positive, healing, uplifting cards in the entire tarot deck. It represents hope, inspiration, divine guidance, renewal, and being blessed by the universe. And the fact that this card is showing up in a reading about someone wanting to harm you is so significant because it's telling you that you are protected. You are guided. You are supported by forces much greater than this person's jealousy or schemes. The Star comes after the Tower in the tarot, which means it represents the peace and hope that comes after a crisis or upheaval. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the promise that no matter how dark things get, there is always renewal and healing available. For you, the Star is a powerful affirmation that even though someone is wishing negativity upon you, even though someone is trying to steal from your light, you are connected to a higher source of abundance and blessings that they cannot touch. What I really want you to understand about the Star in your reading is that it represents your authentic self, your true essence, your soul's light. And that light is so powerful, so bright, so pure that it naturally exposes darkness around it. When you walk into a dark room and turn on a light, the darkness doesn't overcome the light. The light overcomes the darkness. That's what's happening here. You being revealed to this person means they've seen your light, and instead of being drawn to it in a positive way, they've reacted with hostility because your light makes them uncomfortably aware of their own darkness. But here's the beautiful truth. The Star is telling you that your light cannot be diminished by someone else's darkness. You can't lose your essence. You can't lose your connection to the divine. You can't lose your gifts and talents and purpose just because someone is jealous of them. The Star pours water onto both the land and back into the pool, representing the infinite flow of universal abundance. There's enough for everyone. This person's lack mentality doesn't change the fact that the universe is abundant and that you are worthy of receiving from that abundance. The Star is also a card of healing, and I think there's a message here about you needing to take care of yourself, emotionally and spiritually during this time. When someone is directing negative energy towards you, it can be draining even if you're not consciously aware of it. So the Star is encouraging you to engage in practices that replenish your spirit. Meditation, time in nature, creative expression, whatever helps you feel connected to something greater than the everyday drama and pettiness. You need to stay connected to your source because that's where your true power comes from. I also want to mention that the Star is associated with Aquarius, which is all about being unique, being innovative, being ahead of your time. This card is validating that you are special. You do have something unique to offer. You are different from others in your field or your circle. And that's exactly why this person is threatened. They see something in you that they don't have and don't know how to cultivate in themselves. But that's not your problem to solve. Your job is to keep shining, keep being authentically yourself, keep offering your unique gifts to the world. The fifth card is Justice. And this is where I really want you to pay attention because justice is the card of karma, of consequences, of truth being revealed, of everything being balanced in the end. Justice is card number 11 in the major arcana, and in numerology, 11 is a master number representing spiritual insight and higher consciousness. This card is showing up in your reading as a promise that this situation will be resolved fairly, that truth will come to light, that this person will face consequences for their actions and intentions. Justice holds a sword in one hand and scales in the other. The sword represents the cutting away of illusions and the clear seeing of truth. The scales represent balance and the cosmic law that what you put out into the universe comes back to you. This person who is wishing harm upon you, who is trying to take from you, who is operating from envy and malice, they are creating karma for themselves. And justice is confirming that this karma will catch up with them. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, when? How long do I have to wait for justice? And I hear you. It's frustrating when someone is actively trying to harm you and you just want them to face consequences immediately. But justice operates on divine timing, not human timing. The universe sees everything. The universe knows what's happening. And the universe will balance the scales in the right way at the right time. Your job is not to force it or try to make it happen yourself. Your job is to trust the process and to continue operating with integrity yourself. Because here's the thing about justice that's really important. This card doesn't just represent consequences for others. It also represents the importance of you staying in integrity. If you respond to this person's negativity with your own negativity, if you stoop to their level, if you engage in the same kinds of manipulative or vindictive behavior, then you're creating karma for yourself too. Justice is reminding you to take the high road, to stay true to your values, to handle this situation with grace and maturity, even when it's hard. Because when you do that, when you refuse to be pulled down into the mud, the contrast between your behavior and theirs becomes even more obvious to everyone around you. Justice is also about truth, and the truth always comes out eventually. If this person is lying about you, spreading false rumors, taking credit for your work, whatever it is, the truth will surface. You might not even have to be the one to expose them. Often, people who operate in deception eventually expose themselves. They make mistakes. They get caught. Their stories don't add up. Other people start noticing inconsistencies. Justice is telling you to have faith that truth is a powerful force that cannot be suppressed forever. I'm also picking up that justice can represent legal matters or official proceedings in some readings. So if this situation escalates to a point where you need to involve HR, or legal counsel, or some kind of official mediation, justice is a positive indicator that things will work out in your favor as long as you have been honest and ethical in your dealings. This card is on your side as long as you've been playing fair. The sixth card is strength. And wow, Aries, this is your card showing up for you. Strength is card number 8 in the major arcana, but it's also associated with the sign of Leo, which shares your fire element. This card is about inner power, courage, patience, and compassion. The traditional image shows a woman gently closing the mouth of a lion, representing the triumph of the gentle approach over brute force. And this is such an important message for you right now because as an Aries, your instinct might be to come out swinging when someone threatens you. Your instinct might be to confront this person directly, to call them out publicly, to fight fire with fire, but strength is saying that's not the approach that will serve you best in this situation. The real power move here is to remain calm, composed, and confident, to not give this person the reaction they might be hoping for, to not engage in their drama or their games. Strength is about knowing your power so deeply that you don't feel the need to prove it to anyone. You don't need to defend yourself constantly. You don't need to argue or explain or justify. Your results, your character, your reputation will speak for themselves. What I love about strength in this reading is that it's showing me you have the inner fortitude to handle this situation without losing yourself in the process. You're not going to become bitter. You're not going to become paranoid. You're not going to become the kind of person who sees threats everywhere and trusts no one. You're going to move through this with grace and dignity intact. And that's incredibly powerful. Strength is also about patience. Sometimes the best response to someone's attack is no immediate response at all. Sometimes you need to let things unfold, let people show their true colors, let the situation develop before you decide how to act. Strength has incredible patience. She doesn't rush. She doesn't panic. She stays calm and centered and waits for the right moment to act. And when she does act, it's from a place of wisdom and strategy, not from a place of reactive emotion. I'm also seeing that strength can represent the support of others. The woman in the card is often surrounded by flowers and natural beauty, suggesting that she's supported by the natural world and by benevolent forces. For you, this could mean that you have people in your corner who see the truth of the situation and who will support you. You're not alone in this, even if it feels like you are sometimes. There are people who know your character, who trust your integrity, who will stand by you if things get difficult. Strength is also reminding you to have compassion. Even for this person who is wishing you harm. Now, I'm not saying you should let them walk all over you or that you should ignore what they're doing. But I am saying that holding onto anger and hatred towards them will only hurt you in the long run. This person is clearly struggling with their own inner demons, their own feelings of inadequacy, their own pain. That doesn't excuse their behavior, but understanding it can help you not take it so personally. This isn't really about you. It's about them and their own issues. You just happen to be the mirror that's reflecting back to them everything they're not dealing with in themselves. The seventh card is the Lovers. And this is fascinating because the Lovers is usually about relationships, love choices, and values. When I see this card in a reading about someone being envious and potentially harmful, it makes me think about choices and consequences in relationships. The Lovers is fundamentally about making choices that align with your values. It's about choosing love over fear, choosing connection over separation, choosing authenticity over deception. In your situation, I'm seeing the Lovers as representing a choice point. You have a choice about how you're going to respond to this person and this situation. You can choose to remain open and loving and trusting of others, or you can close yourself off and become suspicious and guarded. You can choose to focus on the positive relationships in your life, or you can become consumed with this negative dynamic. You can choose to let this experience harden you, or you can choose to let it teach you wisdom without stealing your joy. The Lovers is also associated with Gemini, which is all about communication, duality, and choices. There might be some important conversations coming up where you need to be very clear about your boundaries and your values. The Lovers is encouraging you to communicate with honesty and directness, but also with love and respect. Even if you need to confront this person or set boundaries with them, you can do it in a way that's firm but not cruel. You can speak your truth without trying to destroy them. I'm also picking up that the Lovers can represent your own internal alignment. When this card appears, it's asking you to check in with yourself and make sure that your actions are aligned with your values. That your choices are coming from your highest self, not from your wounded ego. That you're being the person you want to be, regardless of what anyone else is doing. The Lovers is a reminder that your integrity is yours to maintain. Nobody can take that from you unless you give it away by compromising your values in order to fight back. There's also a possibility that the Lovers is literal in some way. Maybe this person's envy is specifically related to your romantic life or a partnership you have. Maybe they wanted someone you have, or they wanted the kind of relationship you have, or they're jealous of the love and support you receive from a partner. If that resonates, the Lovers is affirming that your relationships are blessed and protected. This person's jealousy doesn't have the power to break bonds that are genuine and strong. The Lovers also speaks to harmony and unity. Despite the chaos this person is trying to create, you can maintain your own inner harmony. You can stay balanced within yourself. You can refuse to let their chaos become your chaos. The Lovers is about finding peace in partnership, whether that's with another person, with yourself, or with the divine. You are not alone in this journey. You have support, you have love, you have connection. And those things are more powerful than any force of negativity. The eighth card is Queen of Pentacles. And this is beautiful because the Queen of Pentacles represents abundance, nurturing, security, and practical wisdom. This queen is grounded, resourceful, and prosperous. She knows how to create stability and comfort in her life. She's generous but not foolish. She takes care of others, but she also takes care of herself. And I think this card is showing up as both a description of who you are or who you're becoming, and also as guidance for how to navigate this situation. As a description, the Queen of Pentacles is telling me that you have resources. You have skills. You have the ability to create financial security and material abundance for yourself. And this might be exactly what this other person is jealous of. They see you thriving. They see you building something substantial. They see you enjoying the fruits of your labor. And instead of being inspired to do the same for themselves, they want to take what you've built or diminish it in some way. But here's what the Queen of Pentacles knows that this other person doesn't seem to understand. True abundance isn't something you can steal from someone else. It's something you cultivate through consistent effort, practical wisdom, and a nurturing approach to your goals and resources. The Queen of Pentacles didn't get where she is by taking shortcuts or by tearing others down. She got there by being disciplined, by being smart with her resources, by investing in herself. by being patient with the growth process. As guidance, the Queen of Pentacles is encouraging you to continue focusing on building your empire. Keep nurturing your dreams. Keep investing in your skills and your growth. Don't let this person's negativity distract you from the practical work of creating the life you want. The Queen of Pentacles is very grounded and practical. She doesn't get caught up in drama or emotional chaos. She stays focused on what matters, on what produces real results. I'm also seeing that the Queen of Pentacles is reminding you to protect your resources. This goes back to the Seven of Swords energy at the beginning of the reading. Don't be naive about who you share your plans with, who you give access to your projects or finances, who you trust with sensitive information. The Queen of Pentacles is generous, yes, but she's also wise. She doesn't give to people who will waste what she gives or use it against her. She's discerning about where she puts her energy and resources. The Queen of Pentacles is also a very nurturing energy. And I think there's a message here about you needing to nurture yourself during this time. When you're dealing with someone's negativity and jealousy, it can be emotionally and energetically draining. The Queen of Pentacles is reminding you to take care of your physical body, to rest when you need rest, to nourish yourself with good food and comfortable surroundings, to create a home environment that feels like a sanctuary. These practical acts of self-care are not indulgent. They're essential for maintaining your strength and your ability to handle challenges. Finally, the Queen of Pentacles can represent a mentor or supportive woman in your life who has practical wisdom to offer you. If there's someone in your life who's been through similar situations, who's successful and grounded and wise, this might be a good time to reach out to them for advice. The Queen of Pentacles is not proud or stubborn. She knows when to ask for help and guidance from those who have walked the path before her. The ninth card is the Empress. And this is such a powerful card to appear in your reading because the Empress is the ultimate creator, the ultimate nurturer, the ultimate source of abundance and fertility and growth. The Empress sits in a lush garden, surrounded by abundance, completely comfortable in her power to create and nurture life. She is creativity itself. She is abundance itself. She is the divine feminine in her full power. For you, Aries, the Empress is a confirmation that you are in a phase of incredible creative power and manifestation ability. You are literally creating the life you want. You are bringing things into being. You are nurturing your dreams into reality. And this is beautiful and powerful, but it's also what's triggering this other person's envy. The Empress energy is very visible. When you're in your Empress phase, people can see your abundance. They can see your creativity flowing. They can see things working out for you. And for someone who's struggling or who feels blocked or who's not doing their own creative work, that can be really triggering. But here's what's important for you to understand. The Empress doesn't dim her light to make others comfortable. She doesn't hide her abundance to avoid triggering jealousy. She exists in her full power unapologetically. And that's what you need to do too. The Empress is telling you that your success, your creativity, your abundance, your happiness, these are not things you should feel guilty about or try to hide. You've earned these things. You deserve these things. And you have every right to enjoy them fully. The Empress is also about generosity and nurturing others, but in a healthy way. She gives from her overflow, not from her lack. She nurtures others without depleting herself. And I think this is an important message for you in terms of how you deal with this person who's envious of you. The Empress energy is saying you can be compassionate and understanding without being a doormat. You can acknowledge their struggle without taking responsibility for fixing it. You can wish them well without giving them access to what you've built. The Empress is deeply connected to nature and natural cycles, and there's a message here about trusting the timing of things. Just as a seed doesn't become a plant overnight, just as a pregnancy takes 9 months, some things need time to develop and unfold. The situation with this person will resolve in its own time. The consequences of their actions will manifest in their own time. Your continued success and growth will unfold in its own time. The Empress is patient because she trusts the natural process. She doesn't try to force things or rush things. She knows that everything has its season. I'm also picking up that the Empress can represent your self-worth and self-love. When you truly love yourself, when you truly know your worth, other people's opinions and judgments have less power over you. The Empress is completely secure in who she is. She doesn't need external validation. She doesn't need everyone to like her or approve of her. She knows her value is intrinsic, not dependent on what others think or say. This is the energy you need to embody right now. Know your worth. Love yourself. Be secure in who you are, regardless of what this person or anyone else thinks about you. The 10th and final card is Judgment. And wow, Aries, this is such a powerful card to end your reading with. Judgment is card number 20 in the major arcana, and it represents awakening, reckoning, transformation, and divine calling. The traditional image shows an angel blowing a trumpet and people rising from their graves, symbolizing a moment of truth, a moment of reckoning, a moment when everything is revealed and evaluated. For you, Judgment is confirming that there is going to be a reckoning in this situation. The truth about this person, their intentions, their actions, their character, all of it is going to be revealed. Judgment is the card of truth coming to light in the most undeniable way. When Judgment appears, you can't hide anymore. You can't pretend anymore. You can't manipulate the narrative anymore. Everything is laid bare and everyone sees clearly. Now, this might not happen immediately. Judgment operates on divine timing, but it will happen. This person who has been operating in the shadows, who has been plotting against you, who has been wishing harm upon you, they are going to be called to account. And when that happens, it won't be because you exposed them or because you fought against them. It will be because the universe has a way of bringing truth to light when the time is right. Judgment is also about transformation and rebirth. This entire experience, as difficult as it might be, is actually serving your evolution. You're learning discernment. You're learning about human nature. You're learning about boundaries and self-protection. You're learning about your own strength and resilience. You're being transformed through this challenge. And when you come out the other side, you're going to be wiser, stronger, more grounded, more clear about who you are and what you're creating in your life. I'm also seeing that Judgment can represent a calling or a higher purpose. Sometimes when we face challenges and attacks, it's because we're stepping into a bigger version of ourselves that threatens the status quo. The fact that someone is this triggered by you suggests that you're doing something significant, something important, something that matters. Judgment is calling you to step fully into your purpose, to stop playing small, to stop dimming your light, to stop apologizing for your success. This is your moment to rise. Judgment is associated with Pluto, the planet of transformation and rebirth. There's a death happening here, but it's a necessary death. The death of naivety, perhaps. The death of assuming everyone has good intentions. The death of being too open with the wrong people. But from this death comes a rebirth. A more empowered you. A more discerning you. A you who understands that not everyone deserves access to your energy and your life. Finally, Judgment is about forgiveness, but true forgiveness, not the kind where you pretend nothing happened. True forgiveness is about releasing the anger and resentment that would poison your own spirit if you held onto it. It's about choosing your peace over your need for revenge. It's about understanding that this person's karma is not yours to administer. The universe will handle it. Your job is to free yourself from the weight of carrying anger and hurt, and to move forward into the beautiful future that's waiting for you. So Aries. As I look at these 10 cards together, here's what I'm seeing. Someone has seen who you truly are, and that revelation has triggered their envy and their desire to somehow diminish what you have or who you are. They're operating with deception and strategy, represented by the 7 of Swords. But you have incredible strength and forward momentum, shown by the Chariot. Their wish is for you to struggle, shown in the 5 of Pentacles, but you are protected and blessed by divine forces, shown by the Star. Justice will prevail and truth will come to light. You have the inner strength to handle this with grace. You have choices to make about how you respond, shown by the Lovers. You have resources and practical wisdom, shown by the Queen of Pentacles. You are in a powerful creative phase, shown by the Empress. And ultimately, there will be a reckoning and a transformation, shown by Judgment. My advice to you is simple but profound. Stay in your power. Stay focused on your path. Don't get dragged into drama or games. Protect your energy and your resources. Trust that the universe sees what's happening and will balance the scales. Continue being authentic and generous while also being wise and discerning. Take care of yourself physically and emotionally. And know that this challenge is ultimately serving your growth and evolution into an even more powerful version of yourself. You've got this. Aries, you're stronger than any negativity someone else can direct at you. Your light is too bright to be dimmed by someone else's darkness. Keep shining. Keep creating. Keep moving forward. The universe has your back.